Hi there guys, I hope you have had a good day. Now in light of Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3 and all of what has happened with that situation, Tyson Fury has now explained he will have a homecoming on December 5th. That is the date he believes he will be fighting in the UK. And he even tweeted, "Gypsy King is coming home, see you in December." So Tyson Fury is adamant that he will be fighting on home soil in the UK in December. Now obviously December is coming up pretty quickly, but he doesn't have an opponent, and obviously he's not going to because he's just decided that he's not going to be fighting Deontay Wilder. Now, there are many opponents that he can choose. There are in fact 15 opponents that he can choose. Now, many of them will be tied up with their respected fights, so there are some names that do stand out. One of them for me would be Oscar Rivas. That would be a great fight for Tyson Fury, but I don't believe it will happen, but I definitely would like to see it. I mean, in my opinion, I think that he will fight Ajit Caballero, and he is ranked number 15. But Oscar Rivas would be a great addition for Tyson Fury. But what is interesting is Oscar Rivas' co-promoter, Yvonne Michelle, has explained that Oscar Rivas is fit and ready for December 5th, provided Tyson Fury would want to fight him. Now, Oscar Rivas is ranked number 8 by the WBC, so he's within those rankings and can go and fight Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury is happy to make a defense of his WBC world title, then that fight can happen. Now, will Tyson Fury fight Oscar Rivas? It's a tough fight, but I don't believe it will happen. I believe that Tyson Fury will fight Ajit Caballero. I just think that that is the more logical fight at the moment. Because, I mean, Ajit Caballero has been around for an extremely long time. He's 20-0, and he hasn't really had a step-up fight, so this would be that. But ultimately, I don't understand why he's been around for so long and hasn't tried to get a big name. I mean, he's fought Derek Chisora, but ultimately you would think from then on he can springboard onto bigger fights, but he hasn't done that. So, I mean, maybe it's worked out for him. I mean, he could get a Tyson Fury fight for the WBC world title. So, I guess all things have gone well for Caballero, provided he gets that fight. But I just think that Oscar Rivas is a much better fight, especially for a homecoming for Tyson Fury. Rivas has previously fought in the UK against Dillian Whyte, gave him a good fight as well. It was a tough fight for Dillian Whyte, but still Dillian Whyte did win by unanimous decision. So that would be a good contest for Tyson Fury, especially considering he wants to come back to the UK. There's an opponent right there who's been in the UK, fought before, against an opponent like Dillian Whyte. So ultimately, that is probably the best choice for Tyson Fury. Whether he chooses that or not, we don't know. But I definitely would like to see Tyson Fury in there with some potentially top 15 opponents in the heavyweight division, not just within the WBC rankings, because I think that Tyson Fury has fought Vladimir Klitschko, Deontay Wilder, and Derek Chisora, but ultimately he hasn't got a name on his resume like maybe Alexander Povetkin or Kubrat Pulev. Those kind of fighters, I would like to see Tyson Fury challenge against them, because he has had two mega names on his resume. Obviously, Deontay Wilder undefeated, 10 defenses of the WBC world title, and Vladimir Klitschko ending a 9 or 10 year reign. So he has some mega fights and mega wins. Derek Chisora was a good win as well, but ultimately he doesn't have that thickness in his resume like a Povetkin, like a Pulev, and I believe he can beat them. So I would like to see it in the ring. And you have to kind of wonder about Tyson Fury's fighting style. Is he going to go on the back foot like he did previously in his career? Or is he going to fight in the same way he did against Deontay Wilder? He did say he's had many points decisions and he now wants to go for the knockout because the power is there with that Kronk style. And I won't imagine that Sugar Hill is going to give him a game plan to go on the back foot, because obviously the Kronk style, turning that right hand over, all of the things they have been working on, getting more power into his punches. So yeah, Tyson Fury is going to be a lot more exciting in fights to come. And that's brilliant. I mean, Tyson Fury is a good boxer and very elusive, and that is entertaining in its own right. But ultimately, Tyson Fury is a big guy, 6'9", 270 pounds. So he has the build to be able to knock guys out, even if he doesn't have the power, because he can wear them down using his physical size, strength, and his weight as well. But that being said, it does mean that it will be a lot tougher fight for Tyson Fury, and a lot tougher night as well, because ultimately if he's going on the back foot and being elusive, he's avoiding punches, so he's not getting caught. Whereas if he's going forwards, you're going to get caught, because obviously he is the one pressing the fight, he is the one inviting the action, so it would be tougher for Tyson Fury going forward as opposed to going backwards. But with a Sugar Hill in his corner, he's not going to give him a game plan to go on the back foot, so ultimately Tyson Fury will be walking down his opponents. Imagine him trying to walk down Oscar Rivas. them two slugging it out in the center of the ring. That would just be a brilliant fight. I just think that against Ajit Caballero, I think that Tyson Fury would break him down, especially working in some body shots as well. But I just think that the accumulation of punches would be too much for Ajit Caballero, and I think he'd get caught often. And ultimately, I think that he would get stopped around rounds maybe 5 to 7, because I just think it would be too much for him. Oscar Rivas, on the other hand, has better pedigree and a style probably to trouble Tyson Fury, where he is a lot smaller, because no one's going to be bigger than Tyson Fury unless you get value out of retirement. But ultimately, the smaller guy can give the bigger guy problems because they can use their size and their height against their opponent, just as their opponent is against them. They can make themselves smaller. So if Tyson Fury is going to stand tall and box it long, then Oscar Rivas can make himself small and make Tyson Fury punch down and come down to his height. So ultimately, they both can use their size and height against one another. That is why it's a clash of styles, and I think the styles do match up for a good fight. That is why I would like to see Tyson Fury take on Oscar Rivas on December 5th. If that is the date that he is going for, then it should be Oscar Rivas in my opinion. But I do believe it will be Ajit Caballero. I mean, we don't know at the moment. It's still up in the air. Tyson Fury has only just explained he's coming back to the UK, so we don't know his opponent just yet. But it will come up very soon, because December 5th is coming up very quickly. Guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, leave a thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.